Today, we're going to look at what the carry of the market can tell us about potential strength and weakness as we go through harvest here, whether or not we need to be storing the grain or if there's some potential for maybe some further upside or support. So, as always, keep in mind everything we're discussing is for education and example purposes. Make sure you guys understand and know your own risk tolerance as we go through the information. Let's just quickly define a spread, and you really have a carry market or you have an inverted market. When you have the front months are cheaper than what the deferred months are, that's known as a carry market. When the front month is more expensive than what the deferred months are, that's known as an inverted market. So, what's the main difference? Well, when you have a carry market, as most of us all know, you have sufficient supply near term. You're getting paid to store your grain. That's called the carry. And the market uncertainty is more out towards the future rather than in the present or in the current environment or current contract. When you're in an inverted market, the market's telling you you have insufficient supply in the near term. You really don't have any incentive to store because the market's bidding for your grain now. And the markets can still be uncertain in the future, but the uncertainty is more pulled forward into the current contracts. So let's just take a look at the December March corn spread. Currently, we went back about 9 years. What we want to point out is that full carry for this contract is around 28 cents on this spread. We're at about 60% of full carry. Seasonally, as you can see, quite a few of the last years, we've kind of held off in here, and then the spread is actually narrowed up, suggesting that there's a little bit more uncertainty through the harvest months with that front month December contract. This is where we think corn might have just a little bit more support than say beans. As we flip over to the bean spread, we went from Nov 25 to March 26. Full carry is at 46 cents. We're at about 77% of full carry, so almost a full 20% more compared to corn. The other thing, too, going back that same 9 year period, you can see that this spread just continues to widen and trend downward as we head through the harvest month. So at the end of the day, right now, it's obvious we have a carry market in both corn and beans. The market isn't overly concerned with supply here in the near term and is willing to pay farmers to store this grain further out. I will say, though, it appears that corn is much better supported when you look at the percent of full carry, as well as the seasonal tendency here for corn to have that spread between decent March narrow as we go through October and November. What is that telling us? Well, perhaps the corn crop is getting a little bit smaller. We don't think there's a crop disaster, but maybe we can come down a little bit from the USDA numbers. On the other hand, as we're looking at beans, that crop's probably at least holding steady to maybe even getting a bit larger than what the USDA is telling us. And again, the spreads kind of support that. At the end of the day, we just want to remind people, if you're looking at re-ownership, you need to stick to the front month, as we do have a carry market. And so you don't want to be going out and buying corn or soybeans when you further out, right? Further out in time when it's cheaper to buy it today. And if you have questions on that, give us a call. On the other hand, if you're going with storage, on farm storage, make sure you capture the carry of the market. And for now, it looks like beans have a little bit more of that carry potential that's worth locking up. Perhaps you need to be more aggressive on the beans and less aggressive on corn, as that appears to have just a little bit more support as we head through these harvest months in here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We always enjoy making the content for you, and God bless.